Hey everybody, welcome to the latest episode of the Rock Experience with Mike Brunn. On this episode, I'm joined by singer, songwriter, and guitarist extraordinaire, Orianthi. We're going to talk all about her forthcoming new album, Rock Candy, as well as her touring plans, and she even shows us some of her great guitar collection. Also, she mentions the fact that she might be joining Alice Cooper up on stage again in a few weeks, so you definitely want to listen to our conversation about that as well. Alrighty, this is a lot of fun. I know you guys are going to really enjoy it, so let's jump in and let's get started. So, first off, I just want to start off, Orianthi, by congratulating you. You've got your new album coming out October 14th, Rock Candy. How does it make you feel as it's the eve of the album coming out? Do you get excited, nervous, relieved, anxious? How do you feel on the eve of an album coming out?
I'm excited. Yeah. I mean, it's funny when you do a record, you want people to hear it like as soon as you've done it. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
For me, I'm excited for people to hear this because we made it in 13 days. My good friend, Jacob Bunton, he's dear friend and great producer and guitar player. So it's always like cool when you work with your friends because you don't have your guard up or anything. You just go into it. And I think we created something really different, really unique. And it's called Rock Candy because it's predominantly rock, but there's a bit of pop going on in it as well. So I thought that was a fitting title for it. And we didn't cover the Sammy Hagar one, which some people asked. This is a dance song. I love it.
Well, that's one of the things, and I know you're very versed on classic rock. And as soon as I saw the title, I was like, well, she had to know that people were going to at least make the connection between Montrose and the album title.
Of course, yeah. And I played that song before, and Sammy's a friend, but no, we didn't. Maybe in the future we'll cover it, but I just thought it really summed up the record.
Sure. Now, I know that you just touched on this, that you wrote this album and recorded it in under 2 weeks, which is to me absolutely mind blowing, right? So was that always the plan when you decided to do this record? Like, hey, let's in and out really quick on this?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes when you set, like for me, I work better under pressure. So when I set that kind of time at the beginning, I'm like, let's make this record on like 13, 14 days. Jacob's like, okay. And we're pretty much worker bees. When we write a song, we get it done. Like I go in with an idea in the afternoon and it's done by the evening. So that's kind of what we did with this whole record. I went in with an idea a day. There's actually a couple of songs, I should say, were from the past writing sessions, but predominantly like most of the tracks, got 9 of them, were all written like then and there. Each day was a new song. And we started it, finished it off, and then Jacob would mix it. And then at the end, we got live drums and bass put on it as well. But we programmed it and recorded the whole thing out here in Hollywood. So yeah, it was a fun experience. And I think that the way it starts too with Illuminate, having those instrumental like bookends was really different too. And kind of taking people on sort of a bit of a journey of like the present moment, like that I was in then and there for those 13 days, going through heartbreak, going through crazy times. Like I put it all in it. So yeah.
No, I'm glad you mentioned the instrumental because I got an advanced copy of the album and I've listened to both of those, I'll say back to back, part 1 and part 2. Were those recorded together? Were they recorded separately? Like how do you record those 2 tracks?
Oh yeah, they were recorded together. It was originally going to be one song, and then we were like, no, let's break it up because it started this kind of like, I don't know, it sort of clears a slate, sort of whimsical kind of sounding situation, and then it goes into this heavy. I don't even know what I would call it, but anyway, it's something. It's dramatic. So it is. But like, we kind of thought, let's break it up. Let's end the record like that in a different place and where we start. So yeah, that's kind of the whole situation there with those.
Yeah, no, I think it's a perfect bookends to the album, like you said. Now, you mentioned Jacob before, right? So you're working with him on this album, and he's got an incredible resume himself, working with all different types of people, whether Steven Adler, Mariah Carey, Akon, Lita Ford, or you name it. What did he bring to the table for you on this album?
Oh, a lot. I mean, Jacob, he's a very creative person. So energy makes everything. And when you're in the room with somebody like Jacob, he kind of, we're sitting there with our guitars or come up with something. He will program something that's really cool. Like he would just, it's kind of a situation where it's just like the song grows, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's done by the end of the day. And it's great working with such a creative because he brings something that, I mean, especially with the, different sounds and the programming and parts as well. Like he's just got a bird's eye perspective on things, which is great because as an artist, I like to have a good mirror, to have a good person to bounce ideas off of. I love producing myself and doing stuff, but producing your own record is a hard basket because I'd probably be, the first album I ever did, I produced myself and it took 6 months to do. But it's good to have somebody, especially someone like Jacob, who's amazing and that says, no, that's enough guitar solos. We've got enough. We've got the take. We've got the vocal take.
Right.
We've got that. Otherwise, I drive myself mad. I mean, I end up in a mental ward by producing my own albums.
So you touched on at the beginning that, you did this over a 2-week period. Was there ever a time when you sat down in the morning to write a song together and it was a few hours in and you guys said, this just isn't working, scrap it and let's move on to something else?
I don't think that happened. Wow. I can really recall. No, I don't think so. I think we kind of finished most of the songs then and there because, when you're on something, especially when the lyrics come in, you got the guitar riff already down, the chords, you're driving down that road. And for me, you see it to the end, we're both kind of the same way, but I don't think we really had one of those moments that I can recall anyway, but yeah. So.
Which is amazing to me because like I said, I've heard the album and the album to me, as you listen to it, even continues getting stronger and stronger. Like the second half of the album, 2 songs that stuck out to me. The first one was Void, which I think is a great song. It has like this modern feel to it. And then Living's Like Dying Without You, which has like a Fleetwood Mac Landslide type feel. 2 very different type songs, but talk about both of those songs.
Yeah, so Void was something that we sort of programmed with this bass, like came in and had like this kind of, I was like sort of talking into the mic, sort of weird. And then I had like, Void, can you feel the void? And it was like this heavy chorus. And I thought it was like really different and interesting. And it was just talking about the disconnect with people these days and how people hold back emotionally and how like in relationships and friendships and everything, social media's on that too. Like there's lots of things that have disconnected people, even though it brings people together, it's also put a rift in being real, I think. And so that was kind of what I was writing about. And then what was the other one? Sorry.
Living's like dying without you.
Yeah, it's so dramatic.
Yeah, a little bit of a tongue twister for me, apparently.
Yeah. That one came really easy too because I was going through like a relationship, sort of like it was ending and I knew it was ending and it was kind of like going, like been together for a long time off and on, but you sort of feel like, it's not right, and so it kind of came really fast for me, the lyrics, and it was just, got the acoustic guitar and started strumming it and Jacob put a microphone in the room and literally that's 2 takes right there. Like
really,
that's
wow.
I just sang it through twice, played it through twice, and then Jacob and I played these guitars together in the room. So it's like we both had microphones in front of us, and I had my Gibson, he had his Martin, and we just put that down. So yeah, really fast.
That's amazing. So you wrote these songs and recorded it pretty quickly. When did you start the process for this album?
God, I can't remember actually. I think it was early this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
February, March, something like that. So we did a live DVD. We did a live DVD that came out, and live Black in Hollywood. So we did that DVD and the CD, and then that same month, I think it was the end of the month, and then the next month we did this record. So it was kind of back to back. I didn't stop working.
Amazing. Now, I thought originally I had read that you were hoping to do a blues album as your next solo album. Obviously, you decided to do the rock pop type thing. What made you decide to change that?
Oh, well, I love the blues. I've been playing. I mean, the reason why I picked up guitar was because of B.B. King, Santana, C.B. Ray. And a lot of people are like, you should do a blues record. Like, you're always playing it in your shows. I always end the show with Voodoo Child and kind of go off into jams. And that's kind of what I did with Dave Stewart, too, in Nashville. We kind of did a blues, country, rock, pop record. It's a mix of things. And I always gravitated towards it. So I shouldn't say it's going to be completely blues, but, like, there's definitely going to be a lot of that on the record. And I'm making another record, too. So probably 2 or 3 albums will come out next year.
Wow.
Instrumental album with Healing Frequencies. I've been working on that. Recorded that one myself. That's nearly done. But there's so much music I want to create, and you should never stop. I mean, that if I'm excited about something, the enthusiasm's there, then why wait, right?
Of course. Oh. So you're saying there might be 2 or 3 more albums next year, 2023?
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Absolutely amazing. As a songwriter, let me back up for a moment. You played with so many different artists over the years, right? Pop artists, Carrie Underwood, Michael Jackson, right? But then you played with Steve Vai, a great song you guys did years ago, Santana, Richie Sambora, all of these different artists that you play with. How does it influence you as a songwriter?
But I learned a lot of working with these different people. I mean, they're incredible. It's a real honor to, be in their presence, to be able to play shows with them, write songs and all that. As I said, it's an energy thing. So when you're in the room with the like Michael Jackson or with the Alice Cooper or whoever it is, there's a certain I don't know, I learned a lot just from being around them, really, and how they, especially with Michael Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
that was a really big learning curve for me. Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, not only like tone wise, but performance wise too, as an entertainer, and showing me like really how to just like perform as well. And then Alice Cooper too was really classic rock, kind of rocky horror, celebrating Halloween every night situation with him. And take stuff from working with all these amazing people and put it into my own. And I'm definitely influenced by surroundings, and Carlos Santana too. I mean, the way that he performs and plays, and he's very present. He brings people in, and it's all about connecting people and making people dance too and all that. So I love all of that. When people just want to rock out, when they leave the show, they want to go home and pick up their guitars. That's awesome. Right. You want people to feel not alone, and that's what music for me is all about. And playing a show, like I get messages saying like, you and your band brought us so much joy. Like we went to your show and made us so happy. That's awesome. That makes me feel like, okay, it was worth the traveling and all that. But playing shows for me is like so fun. I've been doing it since I was like 14 years old.
Right. Right. And that's one of the things I love, is that you embrace all this different types of music. I mean, for myself, growing up as a kid, people thought it was weird. I would listen to Madonna Like a Virgin, then put on Iron Maiden Number of the Beast right after that. And to me, they were all just great songs as long as it had a hook. So I love that you embrace that. And even on the album, you said, well, I named it Rock Candy because it's rock and it's pop. But do you ever get afraid that might turn off some people? I love it, but do you get afraid maybe it'll turn off some of the people that only like rock?
I'm with you with the whole genre thing. I'm not, this is a good song. It's a good song, right? That's what it's all about. But searching for a title of the record, I was going, well, kind of sounds like this. You know what I mean? But yeah, I agree with you there, because I'm a big fan of country, a big fan of jazz, big fan of blues, fusion, all that. So yeah, it's like you just want to kind of blend everything and make people feel something, right? That's what it's all about. So, and you want a good title, and for me, it's about the lyrics as well. I'm very much about a good story and making sure I hone in on the song lyrically.
Sure. And the first single of the album to me was great. I mean, it's got a great hook, a great guitar riff in it, Light It Up. So talk about writing that song and recording the video. It was a fun video also.
Yeah, really hot day, nearly all passed out.
Oh, no.
It was a big warehouse. We had the dry ice going on, and some really intense lights going on too. And we were really playing too. So we had, pretty loud. But writing that song was fun. I mean, I walked in and Jacob had this like beat going, the drums going, and I just picked up the guitar and we both sort of wrote the riff, if you know what I mean. Like I came up with the beginning and Jacob ended it, and it was kind of a thing where it was a joint effort. And we just sort of wanted a rock song that people would want to, like kids would want to learn the riff to, and for us, just a bit of fun, you know. It's very positive. It's very positive lyrically too. It's about not holding back, living your life, being yourself, because everyone is individually great, like in their own, you know, this, once again, like going the social media thing, everyone compares each other. So you got to be a certain way. No, everyone is like individually great. Like we're all put on this earth for a reason. And if everyone was the same, it would be damn boring. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
So
my God, I agree totally.
So, you know, it's all about celebrating who you are and living your life. So it's like light it up. Like when people try to tear you down, because that's what I feel like when people are not happy with themselves, that's what they do. They project this dark, to project this negativity. And so you don't want to wear that. And so it's all about like going, no, this is who I am. I'm happy with it. I'm going down my path, and bless you, and come back into my life when you're ready. But you know, don't need that energy around me. So I'm kind of very conscious of that as I'm getting older, about like just, you know, just the people that I surround myself with as well. Because it can mess you up if you don't have the right people around you on your team, in your friendship group, in your band, in just business, everything. It's bad. You know, you put rotten fruit next to good fruit and it goes bad, right?
Oh, very well said. And so it's a great message on top of a great hook and a great song as well. So, you know, what are the touring plans for the album?
Well, we're putting it together now. So it's kind of like we're trying to, you know, figure out for next year. There's Korea, we're playing Australia, there's Europe dates. This year I've got a gig coming up with Billy Gibbons in a couple of weeks in Oklahoma. That's going to be a blast. So if you're in the area, come down. Matt Soren's on drums, Carmine's on bass. It's going to be an awesome show. Love Billy.
And you have history with ZZ Top as well, right?
Yeah, I was 16 years old and I opened ZZ Top in Australia, which was wild. And they came out with their beards, and I was like, you know, and it's funny. I was walking down the corridor, entertainment center in Adelaide, and I was walking, and I remember Billy coming up to me and go, "Hey girl, are you gonna play that thing?" So I was walking with my guitar, and I was like, "Yeah, I sure am." Like, and he goes, "Oh, we'll rock it tonight." And you know, he was like very supportive and very cool, and I just remember that. And he was always just like encouraging. We jammed together over the years a lot in Nashville. He showed up different rehearsals, and it's just just such a cool person. Really, really great person.
That's awesome. You love to hear about that when somebody's achieved success like that they're so cool and down to earth. To that point, also, I think it's in November 11th, if I remember right. I think you're playing a show with Alice Cooper as well, right?
Alice, yeah, we're doing a show to Save the Plaza. So that's in Palm Springs, in November. Queens of Stone Age, Paul Rogers. We've got I'm going to be playing with my band as well. So I think I'm joining Alice too. It's a whole evening of music. It's going to be wonderful and so fun.
And did you say you're going to join Alice on stage?
I think so. I think we're doing some stuff together. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be everyone's up there. Brian Ray's up there too. As I said, so many great musicians, so many, and I think we're all going to jam at the end, and it's going to be really fun.
That's awesome, because obviously you have history with Alice, and we know Nita just left the band, so people were wondering, would you go back? But it's nice to hear for one night you'll be back on stage with him.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the thing is with Alice, like I'm focusing on my solo career now, and I love Alice dearly, and that whole experience was so fun for me. And anytime he calls, I'm there. You know, if I'm not like tied to doing something, he knows that. He'll always be found. You know, that's the feeling that we all have. So.
Sure. So, you know, in the past, you've obviously had platinum records, huge singles that were hits around the world, right? So you've accomplished all that. The new album, Rock Candy, what would success look like for you in 2022? Because people don't sell 1 million albums anymore, unfortunately.
No, you get billions of streams and
exactly.
or you don't even know if people are streaming. I don't even know. Music just goes out into the air these days. You know, you don't know. As long as it reaches people and they want to sing along and see you live, I think success for me, sold out shows, you know, booking like world tours. I'm focusing on that because I really haven't for a while. You know, I've been doing a lot of guesting and doing a lot of joint kind of things, but really focusing on my solo touring situation is something that we're doing right now with my new team. So yeah, that's my like success for me, is to be able to like sell out shows around the world, be able to just tour until people don't want to see me anymore because I'm too old or like weird.
But then you'll follow it up with another new album and people want to see you again.
Yeah, I'll keep on touring until I lose my mind completely, and then then I'll just tend to my animals.
Right. Oh, that's awesome. So when people think of you, do you want them to think of you as a singer, a songwriter, a guitarist? What would be the first thing that you want them to think of you as?
As an artist, as an entertainer, songwriter, yeah, and then a guitar player at the end. So you know, like I love my guitars so much. I'm pretty much obsessed with guitars. I have them everywhere. But for me, they're just tools to create, you know, songs out of and different things I'm sort of feeling. So it's like an emotional tool. And yeah, I mean, as just a creator, really, I mean, I hope I'm remembered for that, for sure.
How many guitars do you have? You said you have them all over. How many guitars are you on?
There's a few in this room.
Oh my God! Wow.
But no, that's
awesome.
I mean, yeah, there's a healthy collection. I don't have to say how many I have because it's obnoxious sometimes to some people, but honestly, I do use them all, and they have different personalities. So from my PRS, which I absolutely love, and you know, to a Fender Strat, to this one here, which is made in the 1800s. You know,
wow.
You've got it's super old. It smells like kind of an antique store. You know, like great grandma's in a closet. But then you got and then you know, it's like flying beat, very aggressive sounding, and then just showing my guitars off here because I love my guitars.
Of course.
And I got my Elvis Presley.
Nice, beautiful.
One's a 62, so super old again. They smell weird, but they play great. And I like my big guitars, I really do. But it's kind of, they all have the different personalities, and I like to be surrounded with that. And when my friends come over, they're like, "Oh, I want to borrow that guitar. I want to play it." I'm like, "Sure, absolutely. Just don't scratch it.
Don't scratch it. Take good care of it." Yeah. Oh, that's great. How many of them will you take out on the road with you?
Well, I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
I don't know. Because before I was like, normally like, you know, it's funny for different tours, especially the Alice Cooper tour. I had the blood spattered PRSs with, you know, they were made for that tour. And then with my own thing, I have like different PRS guitars that I modify, like from my custom 24 to the custom 22s, signature models, and they're all different sounding. And yeah, I mean, it just really depends on which guitar will serve the song, kind of thing, you know.
Sure. Well, the record's coming out, like we said, on October 14th. It's called Rock Candy. Will there be any more videos or singles that the fans can look forward to? Yes.
October 14th is when Where Did Your Heart Go video comes out.
Excellent.
So that's come out with my good friend. And he's actually the actor in it, Matt. So it was really funny. Like I just put him up, like, hey, you know, I was actually looking for an actor. He's like, I'll be the actor. So cool. So it was really fun, actually. It was cool. And another really hot day. Like we shot these videos pretty close together.
Okay.
Actually, a day after we shot the first one, then we shot the next one. And we were like sweating profusely in this in the two different places, but we got them done.
Awesome. Well, the fans will definitely be on the lookout for that. We'll be lookout for the tour dates as well, and the album coming October 14th. Anything else you want your fans to know about with the record?
No, you can pre-order. I mean, there's vinyl right now. If you want to get vinyl, Amazon, frontiers.com, I believe, or just go to Frontiers website. Yep. And then you can pre-order on Apple Music and iTunes, the full album. So yeah, but if you want to get the vinyl, I think there's like limited edition, like people asking about the colors. I think there's pink, blue, green, yellow, I think. Yeah, but I think they're sold out of pink. So
it's sold out of pink already? Nice. Okay, yeah. Very good. Well, there's something for everybody. So absolutely, we'll look for that. Orianthi, I want to thank you for the time today. This has been a pleasure. I want to wish you luck with the album, luck with the touring, and we hope to see you on the road soon.
And much love to you. Thank you for your support and time.
Thank you. All righty. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
All righty. There you have it.
I'd like to thank Orianthi for joining me, talking all about her new forthcoming album, Rock Candy. I'm telling everybody listening and watching, you guys are going to really enjoy it. Make sure you check that out. Rock Candy, October 14th. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button below. If you're listening to one of my podcasts, subscribe over there as well. Also, head on over to Facebook and follow my page, The Rock Experience with Mike Brunn, where each and every day we talk about all the rock and roll music that you love. You could also follow me on Instagram and Twitter as well. That's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See you all next time.